Retired police officer Itumeleng Bochele has served in the law enforcement agencies in the pre- and post-democratic era. He recalls how he had a near-death experience when he was shot in the head while responding to a crime scene.
I was on the undercover mission. When they discovered that there was a police presence to foil that robbery, I was identified and isolated. So a gun battle ensued, and I suffered a gun wound shone from my head, from the forehead, and then exited somewhere in the top. I survived that. I was hospitalized, released after 2 days.
Bochele oversaw the transformation of the South African police force into the current South African police service. He says many things went wrong during the transition that led to police being ineffective in the fight against violent crime.
A lot of civilian components took over policing without necessarily understanding what goes behind the issues of policing.
The South African Police Service has a staff complement of 180,000. 30,000 of these work under the Public Service Act, and only 150,000 are tasked with fighting crime. This translates into one officer catering for over 400 community members, a ratio that's way above the United Nations recommended ratio of one officer for every 220 people. Mental health experts agree that this immense workload and the inherent risks of the job could exacerbate issues of mental health among officers.
Our policemen and women are repeatedly exposed to traumatic events such as violent crimes, accidents, and deaths, that they come across whenever they report to scenes. And this can lead to development of post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, and depression, amongst other mental illnesses. There's also a risk of injury or death to themselves as a policeman or a woman. It's an inherent risk that you cannot avoid when you are in the police services. It includes the potential for physical harm as well. And we have seen, in the past, research has shown that there has been an increasing rate of suicide amongst our police. There's been an increasing rate of other depressive disorders and even alcohol and substance abuse that has been reported amongst our police.
If we look into the South African police community ratio, that totally tells us that obviously there's an officer that is overworked. There's an officer that works extra duties, extra times, and in the midst of multiple departmental stresses. What are those stresses? In the law enforcement or in the police? Lack of manpower. Obviously, as an officer, you'll have to do more, and that can significantly impact on your morale. You do more, and with lack of tools of trade.
While unions concede that efforts are being made to address this, they say there are issues of lack of confidentiality that deter struggling officers from seeking help internally.
And another main reason really about why members opt to use private facilities is the fact that, within the SAPS, when you have to get promotion, there are mental evaluations that are made on a member to determine as to whether they are mentally fit to be promoted. And if and when it is known that you have had some mental breakdown before, the likelihood of you getting promoted becomes minimized.
We know that the budget that they are having now is not sufficient for them to can do this job or make it available to everyone. But they must optimally utilize the budget and ensure that they prioritize departments such as this one. Because for the service to realize its objective, which is constitutional in nature, which is to ensure safety and security to all inhabitants in this country, they will have to make sure that the people that they are using to go out there, they are also in good shape so that they don't tarnish the image as well of the institution.
SAPS says enough mental support is being given to the men and women in blue.
The NSAPS, Employee Health and Wellness, follows an integrated approach utilizing psychology professionals, social workers, chaplains, and medical administration practitioners to provide support and assistance to employees of SABC.
Unions have also reiterated a call to review the Criminal Procedure Act, which they say leads to criminal repercussions for police trying to effectively protect the public from criminal elements. Offense Estimo, SABC News, Garankuwa.